Big news out of the WNBA. Natasha Howard just made a power move, and this could be a game changer for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. The three-time WNBA champion and former Defensive Player of the Year has officially signed with the Fever, bringing elite defense, veteran leadership, and championship experience to a team that's already making serious waves. But this isn't just another free agency signing. This move signals that Indiana is officially in win-now mode. With Caitlin Clark's star power, Aaliyah Boston's dominance in the paint, and now Natasha Howard's defensive presence, the Fever aren't just looking to compete. They are building a team that could legitimately challenge for a WNBA championship. In today's video, we'll break down why Natasha Howard's arrival is so important, how this changes the Indiana Fever's future, and what it means for Caitlin Clark's quest to become the face of WNBA. Let's get into it. Let's start with the facts. Natasha Howard joining the Indiana Fever isn't just a good move. It's a power move. Howard, a three-time WNBA champion and former Defensive Player of the Year, is exactly the kind of veteran presence Indiana needed to take the next step. The Fever have spent the last few seasons rebuilding, adding young talent like Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. But what they lacked was a proven winner with deep playoff experience. And that's exactly what Howard brings. Standing at 6'2" with a wingspan that makes her a nightmare for the opponents, Howard is one of the best two-way forwards in the league. She's known for her elite defense versatility, capable of guarding multiple positions, protecting the rim, and switching onto perimeter players. But she's not just a defensive specialist, she's also a legit scoring threat, averaging 16.5 points per game with the Dallas Wings last season. For Caitlin Clark, this is huge. One of the biggest concerns about her transition to the WNBA was whether Indiana would give her the right pieces to succeed. With Howard on board, Clark now has an elite defender backing her up, taking the pressure off her on both ends of the floor. Clark won't have to carry the team alone. She'll have a veteran running mate who knows how to win at the highest level. But this move isn't just about helping Clark. It's about making the Fever a real contender. Indiana has been at the bottom of the WNBA for years, but with Aaliyah Boston dominating the paint, Clark's game-changing offense, and now Howard's veteran leadership, this team is suddenly looking dangerous. Howard's signing sent a message to the rest of the league. Indiana isn't just here to develop talent anymore. They're here to compete. With Clark already proving to be the generational talent, adding an elite two-way player like Howard could be the move that turns the Fever into a legitimate playoff threat. Now let's talk about how Natasha Howard's arrival changes everything for the Indiana Fever's game plan. One of the biggest weaknesses Indiana had last season was defensive inconsistency. While Aaliyah Boston was a dominant presence in the paint, the Fever lacked a versatile, experienced defender who could lock down multiple positions, and that's exactly what Natasha Howard brings. Howard is one of the best defensive forwards in the league, and her impact goes beyond just blocking shots. She is known for her ability to switch onto guards, disrupt passing lanes, and force tough shots. That's crucial for a team that struggled against elite WNBA offenses last season. With Howard on the floor, Indiana finally has a player who can handle bigger forwards and stretch bigs, meaning Aaliyah Boston can focus more on controlling the paint rather than being forced out to the perimeter. But Howard's defensive presence also benefits Caitlin Clark directly. One of the biggest concerns for Clark heading into her rookie WNBA season is how she'll handle elite WNBA defenders. She's an offensive powerhouse, but every great scorer needs a strong defensive core behind them. Now with Howard and Boston forming a defensive wall, Clark will have less pressure to overcompensate on defense and can instead focus on what she does best, running the offense and creating scoring opportunities. And speaking of offense, Howard isn't just a defensive piece. She's a proven scorer, averaging 16.5 points per game last season, while also spacing the floor. She can knock down mid-range jumpers, attack the rim, and stretch the defense, making her the perfect complement to Clark's outside shooting and Boston's dominance in the paint. This means that Indiana's offensive scheme will be more versatile than ever. Clark will have an experienced forward who can set the screens, roll to the basket, and create second chance opportunities, something the Fever desperately needed last year. Instead of Clark having to create offense on every possession, she'll now have multiple scoring threats around her, making Indiana's attack much harder to stop. The bottom line is, this is the exact kind of signing the Fever needed to turn potential into actual success. Natasha Howard brings elite defense, scoring versatility, and championship experience, and her presence instantly makes life easier for both Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. This isn't just a step in the right direction. This is a move that could push Indiana into serious playoff contention. Now that we have established how Natasha Howard improves Indiana's defense and offense, let's talk about the bigger picture. What this move means for the Fever's future and Caitlin Clark's long-term success. For years, Indiana has been stuck in a never-ending rebuild, cycling through young talent without a clear direction. But Howard's signing signals a major shift. This team isn't just building for the future anymore. They are building to win now. Let's look at the core pieces Indiana now have. Caitlin Clark, the most electrifying player in women's basketball, an elite scorer, playmaker, and future face of WNBA. Aliyah Boston, a dominant force in the paint, already proving she is one of the best post players in the league. Natasha Howard, a championship caliber veteran who brings elite defense, scoring versatility, and leadership. Kelsey Mitchell and Nalissa Smith, two dynamic players who can both score and defend, giving Indiana even more firepower. With this lineup, Indiana is no longer just a young team with potential. They are a team with the pieces to compete right now. Howard's championship experience is critical here. She knows what it takes to win at the highest level, something Clark and Boston haven't experienced yet. Her leadership will help shape Clark's development and prepare this young squad for deep playoffs run. And here's why this matters. Caitlin Clark isn't just any rookie. She is not coming into the league to develop over time. She's coming in to change the game immediately. The WNBA has never seen a rookie with this much attention, media hype, and expectations, and Indiana knows they need to surround her with the real players to help her succeed. This move also puts pressure on the rest of the WNBA, teams that thought they had time to dominate before Clark and the Fever became a real threat. That window is closing fast. With Howard on board, Indiana just accelerated their timeline, meaning teams like the Las Vegas Aces and New York Liberty needs to start taking them seriously. This isn't just a smart roster move. This is a power move. Indiana is building a championship culture, making sure Caitlin Clark has everything she needs to compete for titles right away. The days of the Fever being an afterthought in the WNBA, those days are officially over. So there you have it. Natasha Howard's move to Indiana isn't just another signing, it's a statement. The Fever are done rebuilding, and with Caitlin Clark, Aliyah Boston, and now Howard in the mix, this team is ready to compete at the highest level. Howard's elite defense, championship experience, and scoring ability give Clark the perfect veteran support, making her transition into the WNBA even smoother. And let's be real, this isn't just about winning a few more games. This is about Indiana transforming into a legit WNBA contender. The message is clear. Caitlin Clark isn't coming into the league just to participate. She is here to dominate. And now she has the right team around her to make it happen. But what do you think? Does this move make Indiana a playoff team? And how much closer does it bring Caitlin Clark to winning a championship? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a major update. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.